Tear gas fired at Rivers Assembly over planned impeachment. NLC threatens boycott of meeting with federal government. Suspected herdsmen raid Benue communities, kill 3. And away from Nigeria, heavy clashes ongoing as Israeli tanks reach outskirts of Gaza City. These are the headlines on Trust TV News Update at this hour. I am Ayuba Ilya. Thanks for joining. There is tension in Rivers State as sporadic gunshots and tear gas were used at the State House of Assembly complex on Monday as some lawmakers moved to impeach Governor Siminalayi Fubara. 23 lawmakers, including House Speaker Martin Huke, have reportedly signed an impeachment notice on Governor Fubara. Leader of the Rivers State House of Assembly, Edison Ehi, and other presumed loyalists of the governor have been suspended. There was an arson attack on the assembly complex on Sunday as tension mounts in Rivers State amidst reports of a rift between Governor Fubara and the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike.
I'm calling on the security agencies. From what I've seen, the security agencies even compromised.
Yeah, exactly.
They were shooting at me.
Yes, sir. I saw it. For tear gas to the governor.
They were shooting at me. This operation was shooting at me directly. Charles.
Yes, I am ready to die with you.
I want to die. When people hear Fubara, they say, "Who is this Fubara?" Is that
our hero
killed one time for a struggle? You will not die.
You will not die.
I am not against anybody. I am not planning anything against anybody. But I don't know where all these things are coming from. Let it be put on record. Whoever masterminded this thing is trying to shift. I had some people gathered here to do whatever. That is purely rubbish. Purely rubbish. You cannot sit where.
By the voting, those that voted in favor of the removal of Edison Ehi as the majority leader of this house, 23, abstention nil, against nil. By that result, Edison Ehi is now removed as the majority leader of the Rivers State House of Assembly in line with our standing orders.
Now, the governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party in Imo State, Senator Samuel Anyao, has urged residents of the state to remain focused and ensure that they reclaim their state on come 11th of November 2023. Anyao stated this while addressing journalists in Owerri, the state capital, where he reiterated his resolve to unseat the incumbent government and put an end to the numerous ills caused by bad governance in the state. Ajibade Praise report.
Senator Samuel Anyao is one of the contenders in the November 2023 governorship race. He has at several occasions said he is in the race to salvage the situation of the state by making sure the state experiences peace and enjoy dividends of democracy. He maintained that though there are attempts to distract him through the use of instrumentality of incumbency, but he remained ever focused.
You know something, nothing distracts me. I'm always focused. My eyes are on. And meanwhile, nothing is happening. The truth of the matter is that in the next 17 days, we're taking over Imo State. That's the truth.
That's a strong one.
Yes. Forget about any judgment. No judgment is coming. It's just a main flag.
Speaking further, Anyao would describe his massive followers and acceptance as a movement. He attributed the development to the total resolve by residents of the state to change the narrative of governance in the state from the current state it is to a better one.
Imo people have taken a direction where they're going to. It's not about me. It's about Imo people and the present administration. It's a movement. What you see today in Imo is a movement. It's not about Imo needs a change. And I'm sure you're aware that Imo needs a change. Nobody's comfortable what is happening in the states. I can assure you, Imo will speak on the level.
It is less than 14 days to the election. Imo residents are hopeful that the poll will provide them an opportunity to elect a leader that will govern and implement the right policies that will ameliorate their sufferings. Ajibade Praise, Trust TV News, Owerri.
Earlier we spoke to Victor Doze, who is in Port Harcourt, who gives us an update on the drama in the state.
Between River State Governor Sim Fubara and the Minister of Federal Capital Territory, Barrister Wike, on Sunday took a dramatic dimension when suspected arsonists invaded River State House of Assembly and set ablaze the hallowed chamber of the Assembly. The Governor and the Minister of Federal Capital Territory for some time now has been maintaining a cat and dog relationship over issues that have not been made public. On Monday, the two members of the Assembly converged at the Assembly complex and initiated an impeachment process against the Governor. But before then, the majority leader of the Assembly, who is said to be very, very loyal to the Governor, were removed as the leader of the Assembly. Announcing the removal of the leader of Assembly, Edis Ehi, the Speaker of the River State House Assembly, Honorable Martins Amekule, said that the majority leader was removed because of his failure to attend the Assembly sitting on Monday. While the members of Assembly were sitting, hundreds of youths, allegedly loyal to the Governor, stormed the Assembly and threatened to invade the Assembly complex. But they were repelled by security agencies who have cordoned off the entire Assembly complex. As I speak now, all the roads leading to the Assembly complex located at the popular Moscow Road in Port Harcourt have been cordoned off by police with several armored tanks. The youths of the state who are loyal to the Governor have equally government house, Port Harcourt, and barricaded the entrance to the government house. The youths are saying that it is too early to impeach a governor who has spent barely 7 months in office. The youths say that the Governor has not committed any impeachable offense that would have warranted his being an impeachment process being initiated by the Assembly. As I speak right now, the entire state are under tension. Fierce-looking policemen have taken, position in all the strategic points leading to government house.
The Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, has threatened to boycott its meeting with the federal government on Monday if the Minister of Labour, Simon Lalong, is in attendance. The president of the NLC, Comrade Joe Ajaero, issued the threat while fielding questions from journalists in Abuja on Sunday for a briefing on the plight of workers in Imo State. Ajaero criticized Lalong for not being able to establish a cordial relationship with organized labor. Labor unions and the government have been in negotiations over labor's planned industrial action owing to the removal of fuel subsidy in the country. Now, during Sunday's event, Ajaero also said that NLC will mobilize its members to storm Imo State on Wednesday, November 1. The NLC chief accused the Imo State government of violating the rights of the workers in the state. The NLC president also lamented the non-compliance with the national minimum wage by the government, claiming that the governor, Uzodinma, has resisted the use of social dialogue and collective bargaining to resolve the issues. Now, 7 people were said to have been killed, among them 3 cousins of the spokesperson for the State Police Command, SP Catherine Anene, by the suspected Fulani herdsmen. The onslaught was said to have happened at Nse Gamba in Sengev and Nagi Mbachoho council wards, all in Gwer West local government area of Benue State. Residents said that the communities were targeted by herdsmen in a swift and coordinated attack on Sunday. Still on security matters, security operatives have denied claims of an involvement of soldiers in the killing of residents linked to communal clashes between thieves in Benue State and Yache Jegu of Cross River State. Reports on Sunday indicates that 20 persons have been killed, while many others sustained gunshot and other injuries after hostilities resumed between the two communities over the alleged killing of a farmer. The youth leader of Yache, in a statement, indicted the military by accusing operatives of extrajudicial activities. In reaction to the accusations, commanders of the security team, Lieutenant Alex and LT H.J. Enobo, denied the allegations, stating that members of the Yache community have failed to heed peace talks, accusing the youths of violating the peace process. The security heads say that a joint peace meeting has been scheduled this week to broker peace between the two warring communities. Some community members say that the government has failed to take the matter serious, leading to so many deaths and destruction of properties. Abia State Governor Alex Oti says security operatives in the state have discovered 20 decomposing bodies and skeletons during a raid of forest around the Lopanta cattle market in Muanechi axis of the Enugu-Port Harcourt Expressway. He said another 50 bodies were also found around the market, while the payment of ransom to suspected kidnappers was equally traced to the market. Oti disclosed this during the second edition of his monthly media chat in Umuahia, the state capital. The governor restated the commitment of his administration to restore law and order across Abia State, making it difficult for criminal elements to operate. He insisted that the resolve of the state to make the cattle market a daily market was not targeted at any particular tribe in the country, saying that it was aimed at revamping the security architecture of the market and its host community. Governor of Oyo State, Seyi Makinde, has assured residents of the state that his government will continue to strengthen operations of security agencies in the state to keep the state safe from criminal activities. The governor made this known when he presented 30 operational vehicles to security agencies in the state to boost their operations. The report.
The governor was represented by his deputy, Adebayo Lawal, and was accompanied by some government officials as he handed over the vehicles to the various security agencies.
For maintenance of peace and security and tranquility in your state. Okay.
The deputy governor, in his address, revealed that the gesture was a fulfillment of his principal's promise to enhance the state security architecture. He urged all recipients to utilize it for its intended purpose.
With all the efforts we are putting in place, criminals will look elsewhere, not Oyo State, to perpetrate their heinous crimes. I urge on the representatives and the commanders of our security agencies in Oyo State to make full use of the patrol vehicles.
Out of the 30 vehicles distributed, 15 were allocated to the Nigerian police, and the remaining 15 were distributed among various states and non-state security agencies.
This is to demonstrate that security is prioritized as one of the 4 pillars of Governor Seyi Makinde's administration.
The benefiting security agencies assured residents of improved security architecture in the state across all zones.
On behalf of other security services, I'm promising the state government that the best use of these facilities will be made, and by the special grace of God, the continued peace and security we enjoy in Oyo State shall be maintained.
The distribution of this vehicle will enhance our efficiency and effectiveness in Oyo State. We are going to police Oyo State with the conjunction of other security agencies to make Oyo State a safe haven to all and sundry.
We feel delighted to receive these 2 vehicles given to us. It will actually enhance us in the performance of our duties in patrol and essentially in enforcement of road traffic regulations in the state.
The operational vehicles are expected to aid security agencies in their efforts to maintain safety and combat criminal activities in Oyo State.
You're watching the news update on Trust TV. Coming up shortly, we take a look at why no work is unsuitable for either gender. Details and more after the break.
It was never a consensus. We did all our best. You see, in politics, you give your contribution to the best of your ability.
If you want, I'll forward to you this statement. You go to this bank and verify. But
there are people who say not spending money is not about you.
I'm coming. Let me finish.
But there's so much to be done.
Let me finish. Now, you don't allow me to explain myself.
The recent development shows abductions are now a factor of informants embedded in community.
It's not about the people of Katsina to say that, no, during my administration I was able to stop insecurity. No. It's about collective responsibility for all of us.
And what we should ask ourselves is not what has been seen, is the life better? Are there more people who are unemployed who are not become employed? Is the level of corruption has gone down? Is there inclusion? All those issues.
We're actually a gas country with associated oil. Our focus has always been on oil, that we have never paid significant attention to gas.
To do it effectively, we need to have honest conversation with ourselves. Government needs to come down from its high horse and communicate with the people and build trust.
There must be a solution. We cannot continue this way. They must come back to the table and agree. So whose child will you deny education? All these children that sit for jam, they want to go to higher institutions.
But just a short while ago you were saying that why bring 10 children when you cannot cater for them? So why bring more universities when you cannot cater for the existing?
Welcome back. You're watching the news update on Trust TV. Here's a look at the top stories. Tear gas fired at Rivers Assembly over planned impeachment. NLC threatens boycott of meeting with the federal government. In other news, Chairman of the Nigerian Medical Association, Rivers State Chapter, has advocated the need for the country to have provision of organs banks where such are kept and donated to people in need of survival. Now, the medical expert made the call during the Physician Week activities held in Port Harcourt, Rivers State. The report.
Worried over the continuous organ harvesting in the country, especially sales of kidney, Chairman of the Nigerian Medical Association Rivers State Chapter, Dr. Ebby Robinson, said the association is advocating against donation of organs for profit or money-making. He also called for strong legislation to control organ donation in the country.
Human organ donation are very enormous, but as physicians we are advocating that no donation should be done for profit and no donation should be done for money. And because there is a change in the narrative that organ donation is now a source of income to some certain persons. So organ donation should be free, should be practice-based, should be need-based. In fact, we are advocating that there should be an organ bank.
Speaking on the theme, this is our chance to get it right in the health sector. Some public health specialists said the federal government needs to engage with medical specialists before taking a decision on policies that affects the health of the nation.
The theme for this year's event is, this is our chance to get it right in the health sector. The sub-themes are the Abuja Declaration 22 years after, the ethical issues in human organ donation.
We should take our rightful place in planning programs that will help our people, help the government to plan so that everybody will be well. Put in more energy so that we get better results in our practice.
We as medical doctors, we are on top of the value chain. This is a call to action. This is about internalizing this conversation and running with it.
The medical practitioners are also advocating for quality healthcare, improved budget management services, quality equipment to cover the lapses of brain drain in the healthcare system.
Now, many of us are familiar with women who work in fields that are typically thought to be exclusive domain of men. The opposite is the case in this report, as Aishat Momo tells us a story of a man in his early 40s in Lagos who sells bean cakes to support his family and feels that no work is unsuitable for either gender. The report.
People in Lagos State engage in a wide variety of enterprises based on their interests. However, a common misconception is that certain occupations are exclusive to a certain gender. Mr. Chibueze Damian, popularly known as Baba Akara in the Mushin area of Lagos State, is a bean cake seller, otherwise called Akara, who has decided amidst many discouraging words and challenges to thrive in his business to make ends meet. Damian told Trust TV's correspondent that he ventured into the Akara business about 25 years ago after he was disappointed by his former boss, who runs a restaurant in Lagos. He also mentioned that by selling Akara by the roadside, he has built houses and has been able to pay for his children's education.
Okay, when I start with 1 dereka, I sell, I throw away. So, but I still get patient that one day God will interview. So, but now I thank God that I'm doing it.
The business has strongly grown over the years as Baba Akara witnessed an increase in the number of his clientele. Meanwhile, Jeremiah Chibueze, Baba Akara's son, recounted how he was bullied by fellow students while he was growing up because of his father's choice of business, but is grateful now for how far the business has grown.
Yeah, like every time, like not now, but when I was in secondary school, primary school, my friends usually call me Akara boy. I was being bullied every time for my dad selling Akara, bullied every time. But I didn't have a choice now. I just have to go with tough skin, you know. Till now I'm even proud of my daddy saying Akara. I just thank God I didn't like face on that bullying face.
He advised Nigerians, particularly the youth, not to be discouraged by anything, but to be determined to do what they set to do.
Now, away from Nigeria, Palestinians in northern Gaza have reported fierce air and artillery strikes early Monday as Israeli troops backed by tanks pressed into the enclave with a ground assault that prompted more international calls for civilians to be protected. Israeli airstrikes hit areas near Gaza cities Shifa and Al-Quds hospitals, and Palestinian militants clashed with Israeli forces in a border area east of the city of Khan Yunis in the enclave's south. The bombardments came hours after Israel released images of battle tanks on the west coast of the Palestinian enclave, signaling a potential effort to surround Gaza's main city 2 days after the Israeli government ordered expanded ground incursions around its eastern border. Now, meanwhile, the Save the Children organization said that over 3,200 children have been killed in Gaza, with another 1,000 missing. In another tragic incident, 13 people have been killed in a crash between two passenger trains in southern India, which investigators believe was caused by human error. Now, officials said a further 25 people had been injured in Sunday's crash, which happened in the Andhra Pradesh state's Vizianagaram district. A passenger train had stopped on the railway tracks because of a break in an overhead cable. Now, the second train then rammed into it from the rear, derailing two carriages of the stationary train. Now, more than 90 people are said to have been in the two coaches. The death toll had risen to 13 on Monday morning. The Railway Ministry said a preliminary investigation found human error that led to overshooting of signal by one of the trains. Photos showed rescue teams at the site of the wreckage. Now, an Andhra Pradesh Fire Service officer said early on Monday that no passengers were left at the site. Train crashes are common in India and are often blamed mostly on human error or outdated signaling equipment. And in sports news, Lyon have warned that an even more serious tragedy could occur if action is not taken after manager Fabio Grosso was seriously injured. In an attack on the team bus in Marseille, the Lyon match was postponed after the Lyon bus was hit by rocks on its way to Stade Velodrome on Sunday. Lyon said that Grosso and assistant Raffaele Longo were struck by projectiles and sustained facial injuries. French Sport Minister Amélie Ouede Castera said that 7 arrests have been made after 6 coaches with Lyon fans were also targeted before the game between 10th placed Marseille and bottom of the table Lyon. Now, still on sports news, Red Bull's Max Verstappen took a dominant victory in the Mexico City Grand Prix to break his own record for wins in a single Formula One season. Set up by passing the front row Ferraris at the start, Verstappen's victory was his 16th in 2023 in what is becoming one of the most dominant seasons in history. Verstappen had to negotiate a safety car and a red flag, but was untroubled once into the lead at turn 1. Lewis Hamilton moved up from 6th on the grid in his Mercedes to beat Ferrari's Charles Leclerc in a battle for the remaining podium positions. Now, behind them, Carlos Sainz fended off George Russell to win another Ferrari-Mercedes battle over 4th place before Lando Norris passed his fellow Briton for 5th with 4 laps to go. And that wraps up the news update at this hour. You can watch more via all our social media platforms and also on our YouTube live stream. I am Ayuba Ilya. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.